All right, so let's start with the very first question, Anna, from Luau. How can you control the time limits for questions? For example, from the time the question is opened, you set a time. How do you handle this in the form view?
I will answer this question using the true-false question. So you can set up a timer just by selecting this option right here. It is called limit time to answer the question. So if I select it, I can specify how many minutes or seconds my users have to answer the question, to give an answer. But if you want to limit the time not for a specific question, but for the entire quiz, you can do that as well. You just need to go to Properties and set this up under the main properties right here.
Let's move on to the next question, right?
Sure.
So, how do you grade partially correct answers?
So if you select partial correct answer, if I'm not mistaken, should be right here. First of all, I need to mention that this option is only available if you set up score by result. And if you select accept partially correct answers, there is a specific formula in iSpring QuizMaker, which will include not only how many correct answers were given, but this formula will also consider how many incorrect answers were given by a user, how many correct answers were not selected. So let's say if you have 10 points for the correct answer in total, and if your user select, let's say, let me quickly preview this slide to show you what I mean to make it more visual. Let's say I select to correct this one, like this. You will get 2.5 points and not 5, just because you selected 2 incorrect and didn't select 1 correct answer. So it can be kind of tricky, and this is why for this question you might prefer to use scoring by choice. In this case, there will all the scores will be just simply calculated at the end after a user submitted the question.
Thank you for your answer, Anna. Let's move on to the next question. I think it's something like, can the text be placed so that participants can get a description by clicking on an image and then dragging?
So I'm afraid that it's not possible to make it as a pop-up, but let's say, let me quickly go to slide view. Right here we have a picture, and if you want, you can add a kind of description text box for this picture. You just need to go to the Insert tab, click text box, and add it right here. Let's say a girl is talking on the phone, and add this as a description. But there is no option to, let's say, you click on the picture and description pop up.
Thank you so much. Hope that answers your question. Let's move on to the next one. So, how can you access the iSpring content library while using the QuizMaker?
So then you're in the slide view. If you go to Insert right here, you will see the content library section. And if you go to, let's say, characters or backgrounds or objects, you can use any of the items which is available here. So let's say let's add a background. I can actually type in hospital like this. So I can double click it or just click insert to add this picture. And as you can see, it was added, as a background to my slide, to my question. But for sure, after that, I need to select the right color for my question and for answer options.
But it's pretty easy to do in the slide view, right? So you see how the
Sure,
question looks and you
sure.
can kind of tweak it around, play with it. Okay, awesome. Thanks a lot. Let's move on. Question from John. Okay, so I'm concerned with feeding and branching. When a wrong answer, I want to send user to review, then back to PowerPoint.
So if you the thing is that QuizMaker is not allows you to add not only questions but an info slide as well. So let's say if your user gave an incorrect answer, you can add an additional info slide in your quiz, not as a part of PowerPoint, but in your quiz. Um, let's say, hey, here is the reason that's incorrect. And in this case, I just go back to my quiz to my question, go to branching right here and select an info slide from this list. So it is slide number 15 of the quiz. And so how does the info slide look? I will go to slide view right here. And as you can see, it looks like a pretty similar slide as a slide in the PowerPoint, but in the quiz. So you can set up branching to this info slide to give your user a description why the answer was incorrect or and which answer is the correct one. But if you want to send a user to a specific slide in PowerPoint, I'm afraid that it's not possible for a particular question, but you can set up branching in PowerPoint, let's say for the entire quiz. So if you cannot forward the user from a question to a PowerPoint slide, but right after your user submitted all the answers and got to the result slides, after that, you can forward the user to a specific slide in the presentation, just using branching, but it's more about iSpring Suite and not iSpring QuizMaker, I'm afraid.
Right. Thank you so much, Anna. And yeah, using info slides, you can actually turn your quiz into a whole course. And by setting up the branching, you can actually
Yeah,
allow your users to um, revise the material and then take the question one more time so that they can get better and better at the topic that you are teaching. And let's move on to the next question. What is the use of group of questions within a quiz?
so thank you so much for your question, because I believe that's a very, this option can be kind of hidden gem of QuizMaker, but it's still very useful. Um, if you have one quiz and it has several topics, let's say as the quiz that we just made, it have four question groups, and each group has its own topic. But let's say in my published version of the course of my quiz, I need to have only one random question from this group, only one random question from this group, and only one random question from this group. And this group will be added completely like wow. Uh, how can I do that? I can set up the selection of random number of questions from one group. So let's say for this group, drag and drop, I will select but only one random question will appear in the published course. One random question from this group and one random question from this group. So in other words, you can create a bank of questions and just set up selection, let's say 20 out of 10 out of 100 questions. So each time a user launch a quiz, there will be random number of I'm sorry, random questions will appear, so you can avoid kind of
A way to cheat.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, and good thing that you had these groups figured out in your quiz so that you can easily show how that works. Hope that answers your question. Okay, let's move on to the next one. From Hallie. When you click View Results button on the last question type, will it show the correct answers?
So it's up to you how you want to set up your quiz. If you want, you can set up what the correct answers will be given to users. Let's say if it's only like a knowledge check, not the final exam, but just a way to train your users, and you want to show them the correct answers. So in this case, you can, if you want to show the correct answers, you need to go to Player, go to Navigation, and select this option, Reveal the correct answer after failed attempt. So how it will work? Let me show you right here on the hotspot question. So let's say I will select this answer, it is incorrect, and click Submit. Okay, I need to I will click Submit once again, just because I have 2 attempts. And as you can see, if I move the cursor right here, I will see what was my answer and what the correct answers are. Let me go to question list and quickly show you on the sample of multiple response. So I will select those two, both are incorrect. Click Submit. And as you can see, I have those like green marks next to the correct questions. If you don't want to show the correct answers, you can just unselect this option and disable this feedback at all. Let's say in the case if you have the final exam created in iSpring QuizMaker. So in this case, users will not see any results. Or if you want users to see the correct answers only after they submitted all they submitted their results, their answers, you can enable this option on the quiz results slide. You just need to select allow user to review quiz and select show correct answers. So there are different options that you can set up, and it's all up to how you want your quiz to work.
Awesome. That's the best when the quiz works how you want it to. Okay, so let's move on to the next one from Marie. Are the drag and drop questions accessible in some way to screen readers if you export as accessible?
Yes, I need to mention that we have the accessibility mode in iSpring QuizMaker and iSpring Suite and in all other iSpring applications. So while you publish the course, let's say our quiz, there is one option called accessibility, and I can select enable screen reader mode. Select the language, and after publishing, let me quickly publish just to show you how it will look like. Let me quickly publish it on my computer. Okay, go to View Quiz, open it into Chrome, And as you can see here, I have this glasses icon, and if I click it, um, all my slides will be simplified, so it will be more, so they will be displayed in the accessibility mode. And yes, all of those options and added pictures will be available for screen readers. Also, if you just add, let's say, a picture to your slide in the slide view, um, let's say this picture. If you right click it, you can add your own alt text. So this is this text will be um, read by screen readers. So you can set this up for each shape, for each picture, for each media file that you added to your slide.
Awesome. I hope that answers the question. Okay, and Jenny is curious, how many surveys can you do at once?
We actually don't have any limitations regarding this. No matter, that's absolutely up to you
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and how many surveys you need to have.
Awesome, thank you. And Susan is asking, can Likert scale be sent direct to the instructor?
Sure, you can do that. This iSpring QuizMaker, you can set up option which is called send quiz results to your to the instructor email. So to set this up, you need to go to Properties, go to Reporting, and select Send Report to Instructor. You need to select the Include Users Answers in the report and specify your email. I will just for sample, I will specify our general support email. And in this case, right after your user submitted all the answers, the email will be sent automatically to your this specified email, and you will get your users' details. That's for all the questions. I mean, for surveys, for graded, so you will get all the results. And for sure, if you need to send it, let's say, to several instructors, you can just you add several emails just by using commas.
Awesome and very handy as well. All right, so let's move on because we still have some of the questions that I would really like to cover.
Mhm.
So, can we, Summit is asking, can we allow learner to skip the question?
Yes, you can do that. But there are two differences. iSpring QuizMaker has two modes, if I can say it in this way, on how your users' answers are submitted. So let me show you what I mean. If we go to Player and then go to Navigation, under Answer Submission section, we see two options: submit one question at a time and submit all at once. Submit one question at a time means that your user just answers the question, let's say like this, submit it, and go to the next question. So it's for sure, it's absolutely up to how you set up the quiz and the player. If your user will see the score, if there will be feedback or not. But the main thing is what you need to answer the question first to be able to proceed. Uh, for this submission type, you can allow your users to postpone questions, but it's not the same as skip. So they will have to answer all the questions to see the result slide. But if you select submit all at once, let me click restart. I will just answer the question and I can go next. So I will don't have any results or something about this, and this question is not evaluated yet. Uh, I need to answer questions first and only after that submit them. In this submission mode, you can allow your user to finish without answering all the questions.
So is it possible to send a file as an answer?
I'm afraid that this is not possible at the moment, but we have a workaround for this. You can, let me quickly just show you how you can have this done. So let's say if you need your users to attach a file, Word document, audio file, etc., you can create an essay question, like add an essay question, and type in something. Upload the file to whatever, like sharing hosting Google Drive or Dropbox or OneDrive, whatever, and paste the link as an answer below. And you can set up sending quiz results to your email. This way, right after users submitted this essay question, you will get an email with a link. And using this link, you can download the files and like rate this assignment.
Hmm. Thank you very much. And two questions that we have that I think are of very similar um, topic. So
Mhm,
first is how are the questions exported from Excel?
mhm.
And can we export the result in CSV or any other format? So export questions, export from Excel, and export the result.
So currently, you can only, as per adding questions and exporting them. Um, in iSpring QuizMaker, for now, you can export your questions only to a Word document. So in this case, you can create your quiz right here, then go to Publish and click Word and just publish it. So in this case, you will have a paper-based test. You don't have to set like everything down or write in something. If you already have your quiz created, you can just simply convert it to a Word document. Let me quickly show you how it will look like. So this is the form that your user just need to select the answers, and that's it. I'm afraid that it is not possible to export your questions to an Excel file, only to Word document. But if you want, you can import your questions from an Excel file. On our website, we have a template. And in this case, let's say if you're working from home and you don't have access to iSpring, which is installed um, on your work computer, you can just create like a template, an Excel template with questions. And as soon as you will be in the office, just import it to QuizMaker and edit it, let's say, in the slide view. That can be done, and you just need to use this option right here to do this. As per answers, uh, answers can be just exported as emails, or you can set up sending quiz results to your server. In this case, they will have the XML extension, but it's more like web extension, not an Excel one.
Perfect. Okay, next question. Um, do we buy just a quiz license and integrate with Moodle? Where would be the question bank saved? Two questions in one. Sorry.
um, so in this case, it will be all in the quiz player. So when you create a quiz and then publish it for a learning management system, it will have an HTML5 format. So when you upload it to your LMS, it all this information about all questions added will be only in the quiz, and only after your user completed the course, the result will be sent to an LMS. So if your user didn't answer any any question which was not included in the quiz yet from the bank, it will not display it in the LMS anyhow.
Thank you very much for your answer. And Edlin is asking, can surveys be set to be answered anonymously?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, some of them we have already answered, so I'm gonna skip this one, guys. Okay, Anna, could you please give a quick explanation of what is branching?
Sure. Branching allow you to set up to which slide, or I'm sorry, to which question or to which info slide user will be sent after answering a question correctly or incorrectly. So let me show you how it can work. I have several question groups, and I will turn off this selection. And the last question will be this one, drag the words. Let's say if I want, but if my user answered this question correctly, he don't need to answer questions from those groups. So if he answered correctly to this question, he will be sent right to the quiz results slide. But if he answered incorrectly, he will have to answer all other questions from other groups. And to do this, to set up this forwarding between the slides, you can use the branching option. So each question, even the survey one, has this option. So you just how to select their user will be forwarded after the correct answer. You need just go this feedback and branching section at the bottom. And in the correct line, in the branching column, you need to right click on the arrow and select finish slide, finish quiz, finish quiz. And for incorrect, you can select a specific group, or you can select the next slide, or you can select a specific question. So this is how your quiz should work. Let's say if you want to allow users to skip some parts, you can set this up just using branching.
Perfect, thank you so much. And Pam is asking, how does the system score short answer, or does it?
Here you can set up all the accessible answers. So let's say in my question, I have only one correct answer. But if you have, let's say, let me rephrase the question. Okay, what is your favorite, I don't know, drink? And I will set up something here, tea, water. And in this case, if a user type in any of those answered, the question will be considered as answered correctly. So you just need to, if you not sure if your users will select, let's say one word can have different meanings or something, or there can be any abbreviations that the users can use. You just need to add all the answers which will be correct in this for this question, and that's it. And if there will be like a match between the word that the user typed in and one of the acceptable answers, this question will be considered as answered correctly.
Okay, great. Hope that answers your question, Pam. And Alexander is curious, is there any documentation for QuizMaker?
Sure, and if you want, I can quickly show you where you can find it, but I believe that we
Yeah,
can
we
send.
will definitely share the link with everybody because it's an important piece of information.
Sure,
So no
so
worries, guys.
yeah, but on our website we have this support section, and here you can find also documentation or the user manuals and video tutorials for each of our tool. And for iSpring QuizMaker, you just need to click it and select Help Docs. And here you go. You will get an explanation of any option which is included.
Anna, please, could you please tell us, do iSpring QuizMaker support other languages?
Sure, you can use whatever language you want. You just need to make sure that it is installed on your computer. But I need to mention that we do not support right to left languages yet. Uh, but our engineers are working on this. But for any other questions, you're most welcome to use them. You can use them even for player and so on to set up your own buttons titles.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, thanks a lot. And the last question for today, which version of iSpring QuizMaker are you using?
So we're using the up to date, and it's 9.7.10, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But I can quickly double check this. Just a second. I go to help and about,
But
and
just
here
in
it is.
general, it's version 9, right?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. I hope, or not I hope, but this should be our last question for today's session. It was a pretty intense one, I should say, and I would like to thank all of you guys who stayed with us till the very end. You will receive all the information in the follow-up email, so no worries. And the QuizMaker, it can be purchased separately as a standalone tool, or it can be purchased as a part of iSpring Suite, our top tool for creating e-learning courses that's based in PowerPoint. Uh, just wanted to let you know this information. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Bye, everybody. Bye, Anna.
Bye. Have a wonderful day.